Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. So in this video I want to talk about this shocker hitch which I have bolted onto the tongue of my trailer. The sole purpose of this device is to reduce jarring from the trailer into the truck. The idea here is it does that by allowing the coupler here to pivot up and down on this hinge point right here. This is a pin that goes through. This is greasable, it's greasable on the other side. And what happens is the airbag compresses and expands to basically take up the shock or the felt shock or jar from the trailer to the truck. Now there's several different options out there when you look at something like this. Most of them you'll see will be incorporated into a hitch that would go into your truck itself. Gen Y makes one, Kurt makes one. Most manufacturers make something that has some sort of flex or torsion set up or something into it. Shocker also makes one that goes into your truck as a drawbar, and it has adjustable height. It utilizes the airbag, and it allows you to take that with you on your truck. I wanted a setup like this to be bolted onto this trailer because this is my heaviest trailer, and this is the one that I have the harshest ride with when it's empty. And that's the biggest thing, is about half my towing with this trailer is empty. When you put weight on it, it's fine. And the problems we run into around here, specifically in the Midwest, is a lot of the highways are concrete with expansion joints, and over the frost and thaw cycle and years, the roads being in rough shape, they get kind of rough. And a heavy trailer like this one with a heavy suspension, they pull kind of harsh empty. So not all the roads are like that, but a good few of them are, and it's very, very annoying. So, and it's not just this trailer, it's all the heavy trailers I've ever towed around here with the heavy suspension and empty pull like that. So that's why something like this is important for what I'm doing. That being said, a product like the Gen Y torsion, which from what I don't have one, but from what I understand when I was looking at them, they're weighted on weight, trailer weight and tongue weight. So if your problem is when your trailer is empty, are you going to be able to load that torsion assembly enough empty? If it's rated for a certain tongue weight, like when you'd be loaded. So that was my concern, is that wouldn't provide enough cushion, so to speak, empty. So that's the nice thing about this airbag, is it is fully adjustable. They make this setup. My trailer has the channel on the front. If you have an equipment trailer with a flat plate, they make this setup with that flat plate with the 4 bolts. It does come with the Demco 21,000 pound coupler. It's a 2 5/16 coupler. It's the quick coupler. It comes with that. You can also get it with the lunette ring if you're into the pintle setup. And as I mentioned before, you can get this in a drawbar form as well, utilizing the airbag if you wanted to use it on your truck and not on the trailer. How do I like it so far? I've had it about a year. I like it. I'm glad I bought it. It was about $550, $560. It seems to work well. Now, it doesn't completely take out all the jarring, but it does significantly reduce it. It makes the towing experience a lot better. And like I said, the problem is when the trailer's empty. As soon as you get more than 25 or 3,000 pounds on it, it's fine. But empty is when it rides harsh. So I'm glad I did it. It does certainly help out quite a bit. A couple of the downsides, guys will say, well, it's an airbag, right? It can fail. Well, you're right, it can. Anything can fail. These airbags they're pretty durable. Oftentimes they have an internal bump stop in them. I don't know if this one does or not, but that's typically been the case. I can't say for sure if this one does or doesn't, because some guys will say, well, what if it fails? Well, if it fails, if it fully collapses, you'll still be able to tow the trailer. You'll still be able to get to where you're going. Worst case, if you had a couple wrenches with it, you could pull the coupler off and pull the airbag out, bolt your coupler back in your trailer, and you're back in business just how you were. The other thing is you do need to take air with you because you have to adjust it based on your tongue weight. Right now, the bag is pretty much empty. If you were to lower the coupler onto a ball, what would happen is the airbag would compress. This metal tab would pull away from this. This right here is a rubber like bump stop. This metal tab would pull away from it as the bag compresses. And there's a Schrader valve right on the back side here. What you do is you add air until this metal tab comes back in contact with this rubber bushing, just like it is right now. That's how you know you have enough air in it. So let's say you're hooked up, the trailer's empty, that's how you're sitting. Now you put a load on the trailer. You're going to add tongue weight, at least you should be adding tongue weight, proportionate to your weight. What will happen is the bag will compress again. You're going to have to add a little bit more air to get the tab back into contact with that rubber bump stop. So you will have to have air with you if you change your load. Maybe you're taking a tractor somewhere, for example, you take it somewhere and you're going to do some work with it and you're loading it back up and hauling it home. You might not need to take air with you depending on where you put it on the trailer. You can use a simple bicycle pump, in most cases if you wanted to. I have a cordless inflator that works very well. It fills it really quickly, and I kind of like taking it along anyways, just in case I run into problems with something I'm hauling, with tire issues, or in the tow vehicle as well. So that's what I prefer to do. Now, a couple of downsides to it. Number one is if you look at the position of the bolts on the coupler compared to where they are on the tongue of the trailer, it's a good 5, maybe 6 inches. So you might have to lengthen your chains. The other thing is with the setup I have where my hitch height is, now my tailgate interferes with the bag. Before I could open my tailgate all the way, now I cannot. So that's one downside to it as well. However, I'd rather have a smoother towing trailer and not be able to fully open my tailgate than having a very harsh towing trailer and being able to open my tailgate. So I guess there's trade-offs, with that as well. I'll put a link below for this thing, guys. You can get it on Amazon. It's the same price, I think, as on Shocker website. I have no affiliation with this company whatsoever. I seen them at a swap meet, a national swap meet, and that's how I first found out about them. And I called and talked to a fellow there, and he's a very knowledgeable guy, very helpful guy. And I went through some problems I had with towing and things like that, and he helped me out a lot. So I recommend maybe giving them a call if you need to. They seem to be helpful people, good folks there, at least from my experiences. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.